Think back to the last time you were having just a really good day. Maybe the weather was perfect, maybe you were hanging out with your best friends, maybe marching band rehearsal just was absolutely incredible, maybe your band director was in a good mood and the people around you just seemed to fall in line and everything was perfect. But then someone or something or a series of events just came along all of a sudden and just completely brought it down. Have you ever been in that situation? I know I have. But let's look at it the other way. Let's say think back to the last time you were having a really bad day. Maybe it was raining, maybe your friends weren't around, maybe the teacher just gave you a bad grade on your test, or maybe your practicing just wasn't going the way it needed to be. And then someone, something, an event, a series of events, or something completely out of your control made it better. And all of a sudden you went from a bad day to a really good day. Hello everyone, my name is Dwayne Huff, founder and creator of Band Leadership Seminars and Band Leadership Online. In this video, I want to talk about how you can take complete control over determining whether things are bad and get better, or if they're really good, how you stop them from becoming bad. In order to do that, I'm going to focus on really three things that make the difference no matter what the situation is as to how we respond and react. Well, here's the first thing. It really comes down to what we're focused on in our mind. There's a law called the law of substitution. It says we cannot focus on any one given thing at a time. Let me give you an example. Right now, I want you to clear your mind and I want you to think of something really ridiculous. I want you to think of a green elephant. Go ahead, think about that. Close your eyes if you need to. A green elephant. Get that solid in your mind. All right. Now, at the same time, I want you to think of a green elephant and a blue donkey. All right? At the same time, meaning what I'm asking you to do is think about that green elephant and only that green elephant. At the same time, I want you to think about the blue donkey and only the blue donkey. How you doing? All right, let's take it up a notch. I want you to think about that green elephant, a blue donkey, and a purple aardvark. Again, I want you to think of a green elephant, just a green elephant, a blue donkey, just a blue donkey, and a pink aardvark, just a pink aardvark. Now I want you to think about them by themselves all at the same time. Go. Can't do it, can you? Now granted, if you're putting them all in a picture and you're looking at them all at the same time, then you can accomplish that. But what I asked you to do was look at them one at a time, all together. The law of substitution says we can't do that. We can toggle, we can back up and put them in a picture, but we can't think of one thing, more than one thing at any given time. And that's where the power of focus comes in as leaders in our band programs. Because here's what happens. Here's the three things I was talking about. Whatever you're focused on is going to influence your perception of things. Have you ever walked into your band room, saw one of your best friends, and then looked at what she was wearing and thought, all of a sudden, your perception of her that day was changed. I'm sure we can come up with countless examples. Maybe one of your best friends walks into the band room who's normally cheerful, happy, excited to be there, and all of a sudden he walks in and he looks like he's been weaned on a pickle. Some of you will get that on the way home. But all of a sudden, your perception of the way that person might be feeling or responding to you is shaped. Have you ever walked into a room and felt completely comfortable, but the moment you gazed around the room and saw a situation, all of a sudden you started to feel insecure? It all comes down to what we're focused on, because that focus shapes how we perceive things. Now, let me take it to the next step, number two. How we perceive things is going to shape our attitude. And what do I mean by that? I mean, it's going to shape the way that we show up visually, the way that we look, how we say what we say, and the words that we use, because our perception has a tremendous impact on the attitude internally and the way that we put things forth. So you may show up completely happy to be at your marching band rehearsal, but you're in deep concentration or thought, and what people might see is this concerned, deep look on your face. And they might think to themselves, wonder what's wrong with them. And absolutely nothing's wrong with you. But because you're perceiving something, your attitude shifts, and it all of a sudden affects, number three, how you behave and what people see as a result. And you've seen this time and time again. We alluded to it earlier. You can show up in a great mood and all of a sudden your band director looks completely ticked off and all of a sudden you go in scared mode. You ever been there? I know I have a few times. Because what happening is what we're focused on is shaping that perception. That perception is shaping that attitude. Our attitude is shaping our behavior. And guess what? If our behavior isn't what it needs to be as leaders, it affects the perception of the people who are seeing us. And then if it impacts their perception, what is it going to influence? Their attitude. And if their attitude's jacked up, what is it going to happen? Their behavior is going to be jacked up. And all of a sudden, things can go in this vicious cycle and get completely derailed. Or as a leader, if you influence it positively, you can impact somebody's perception, therefore their attitude, and then their behavior. But it all comes down again to what you are focused on. The way Dr. Tim used to tell me that years and years and years ago was, carry your own weather. How do you do that? You guard your mind. You prepare. You get the rest you need. You do the things that you need to do so that when you step into the band room or when you step on the marching band field to rehearse or to perform, you have your best self there. And what people perceive of you shapes their attitude and then their behavior. If they see you come in, you're all excited, you're ready to go, you're focused, you're getting it done, guess what? People do what people see. People do what people see. That's from John Maxwell. And you know, here's the thing. If you come into a band rehearsal or into the band room and you're not having a great day, find a buddy, another leader, or your band director. Pull them aside, talk through it before you step into that rehearsal and have the opportunity to impact perceptions, attitudes, and behavior. So I hope this helps. It really comes down to what we're focused on. We can shift it because we can't think of more than one thing at a time, as we just proved. So give that a try. I hope that added value to you. And listen, if you haven't checked it out already, I have a 100% free 3-part leadership training series for student leaders in the band program. And if you haven't got that yet, run over to bandleadership.net, put in your name and your email, and I'll send that right over to you. And we'll keep in touch and you'll get more of this great information. So until we talk again, have a great season and we'll talk to you soon.